Boys and girls, Quad City sports fans of all ages, ESPN 93.5 and Town Square Media is proud to present to you the best Quad City sports talk radio show in the world. With the face who runs the place, T-Roy, the OG on the marquee, Jaybird, and the cat who runs the chat with the stats, Statman Surge. We are Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're not a Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We're not the Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We are your Quad City Sports Talk radio show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the Dawn.
Can you believe it's freaking Friday in the Quad Cities? We're wrapping up Christmas. New Year's Eve's right around the corner. And we're back in the Hassle Palace, baby.
It's Firkin Friday.
It is Firkin Friday.
Right?
It is Firkin
there you
Friday.
Go.
That's the only reason we came in is to do the show so we can have some beer.
Do you know what else is
Just
today? And you guys can celebrate this at 5 o'clock down at Front Street Brewery. Just a little fact that for everyone that's down there today at 5 o'clock for the tapping, Adam. Iowa, the state, is 172 years old today.
Jump back.
In 1846, on this date, Iowa became a state.
Well, look at you with your Iowa knowledge.
So you can just pass that along at 5 o'clock down at Front Street Brewery during the tapping of, what are you guys tapping today, Adam?
Today is Santa's leftover cookie tray.
Okay.
Well, that being said, let's do the introductions here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, back.
Just jump right in there.
Back just to say hi to everybody on a Friday to do our Hawkeye thing. We got Stat Cat. We got Lord of the Board. Techie T-Roy. And joining us from Front Street Brewery, Adam. Adam brought us Santa's leftover cookie dough.
No, this is just Davenport Gold that I brought today.
Oh,
Didn't
okay.
bring the Firkin today.
Oh, I got you.
Okay, all right.
What does it
I guess
say?
we'll slum it.
Yeah. This tastes really good, though. This is great.
Absolutely.
So anyway, out there in Quad City land, we're here in the Hassle Palace, brought to you by Dunright Satellite and Dish. We want to make sure that hopefully everybody had a very happy Christmas or Merry Christmas, and hopefully your New Year's plans are coming together. And please, if you're out there, be safe. Uber everywhere that you go, and have a good time. Did you boys, did Santa Claus good to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
He was here in the studio. He sat right in your chair, Adam.
Here?
Yep,
Yeah.
Santa was right there. He touched Serge's leg.
That's right.
Did you give him a nice Front Street beer?
Well, Santa
No.
Santa said he liked vodka. Something weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Probably, watching his calories.
So yeah, the Davenport Gold. This is a great beer, man. You tell everybody about the Gold. What's the inspiration behind it? What's your guys' kind of what do you see this beer as?
This is our lightest beer, so this would be our version or the closest we do to like a Miller or a Bud. Just real light, easy drinking, slightly sweet, just a little bit hoppy. Perfect for drinking, watching some bowl games.
Yeah, I'd say this is kind of a nice cross between like a Budweiser and a High Life, but it's got that Front Street flavor in it, that extra kick that you guys down there do.
Absolutely.
It's good stuff.
Thank you.
Now, what about you? So Hawkeye fan, right, Adam? I remember we covered all this.
Yeah, Hawkeye football fan.
Yeah, looking forward to the game coming up on
Yeah,
New Year's Day.
Perennial first of the year bowl game.
It's kind of like they might as well start calling this thing the Hawkeye Bowl because we're just playing it in every dang year. It feels
That's
like.
true.
I mean,
That's true. And we're going to have some good stories from that from one of our guests later on today, Julian Vandervelde.
yeah.
He'll
So
be-
we have
he'll be
Julian coming in live in studio, calling in here in about 15 or so minutes. We're gonna have Quinn Early, Hawkeye legend, played back in the days with Chuck Long during those Iowa times, if you will. We're gonna do our pick six. We're gonna have Tom Kakert calling in, and also Adam Rosso.
Yeah. We're
Both
going
guys are calling in from Tampa.
down in Tampa, where it's not wintry mix like it is here.
No, it's like 80 degrees there. Like, dang it, Jim. Wish I was there right now. But oh well. I'll live with it. Serge, you're being awful quiet today.
Just take it all in here, T-Roy.
You're taking it all in? Just absorbing it?
Yep.
Okay.
It's on a roll, man.
Well, I'll tell you what. Just absorb this. Pick six from last week,
Yeah.
since we didn't get a chance to cover it earlier this week. You went 4-2, buddy.
Not bad.
So did Jay, and I went 3-3. So, yeah, not too bad by all of us. That being said, we got pick six coming up this week. Looking forward to that. And, Jaber, what else do you got on the docket for us?
Well, like you said, we can. I have to put in my confidence pool for a friend of mine. We can look over that for the bowl games just for the weekend. They just picked 16 different games, but we have to talk a little bit, obviously, about the Iowa game, and we have to look at the semifinals that are going to be tomorrow, and figure out.
Well,
Who's
I'll tell you
that.
what, too. Anderson's apparently in the 99.7 percentile on the ESPN polls.
Mm-hmm.
Is that crazy or what?
But he's got the least amount of points left, so he used all his confidence on the earlier games.
Gotcha.
He's got the least left. So, but yes, that's great that he's doing that. All right, so explain to me the Santa's leftover that you're tapping at 5 today, Adam.
So this week, Firkin Master Mitch took our stout and added a little bit of everything that you'd find in your holiday cookies. I think there's some vanilla, some chocolate, some peanut butter, some nuts. I don't know what all he's got in there.
Yeah.
But a whole menagerie.
Menagerie.
You excited about that?
Yeah, it should be tasty. Always look forward to them. We never know quite how they're going to turn out, so it's a lot of fun to see the final product.
Look, going into the new year, what do you have going on with Front Street? Do you guys have any tastings or any competitions or anything coming up? Is the Brood Live coming up soon? That thing? I think I saw a commercial for that.
Yeah, that should be coming up before too long. We'll have Bacon Beer Fest here in Davenport
Okay.
coming up.
There you go.
Bacon Beer Fest coming.
We've got the Ice Stravaganza January 19th right in the Freight House parking lot down there where they do all the ice sculptures. Little after party in our tap room after that with some music. Should be a good time.
Well, sweet. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So anyway, gentlemen, any New Year's resolutions?
New year, new me?
Yeah.
No.
Well, it is going to be an odd year.
Yes, it definitely will be an odd year. I can guarantee you that.
I don't know. Apparently, I'm doing a sleep study and some sort of food study. So I don't know.
So your New Year's
What's Mookie got you doing?
Sleep study. She's signing me up for that,
Okay.
and then she's going to have me monitor my food because apparently
It's called a diet.
Well, no. She wants to see what's giving me an upset belly. Every now and
Okay.
then, so
All right.
I don't know. Just
How about you, Jay?
Let's see. Not diet so much. I don't. What New Year's resolution? I'm not gonna cut back on. I say you don't
I'm
want to.
not.
I don't want to
I'm
party.
not
as
big
much.
on resolutions.
You know, I don't do that very much more.
Try to be a better person, whether it's health and everything else. Sure.
I'm going to drink more.
That's you're gonna put more effort
I
into
think
that.
I'm going to drink more and eat more hot dogs. I think that'll make me healthier.
Okay.
I mean, if
I'm
anybody
pretty
out
sure.
there,
I'm
you
pretty
know,
sure
I-
that
you
sound
study
more
for
like
your
a
stomach is not going to do
You
that.
sound more like a super fan every day.
well, I'm just saying, it's some doctor. He went to school for 8 years. What's he know?
He gets more of a Chicago accent. He likes hot dogs more.
I'm just saying, these doctors out there, what do they know?
You start cheering for the Bears.
Give a rat's ass what Twitter says. By the way, did you see what Mike Leach had to say about Iowans?
Yes, Iowans everywhere. Iowans love Iowa.
Yeah, that's
is what
right.
he said.
You're damn right we do.
Yeah.
This is the best state in the world.
He talked about his time here when he was a coach, and then just basically how the Iowans will go on vacation and go down to Disney World, and they'll come back from vacation and be like, yeah, I went to that Orlando area. We stopped by Disney World. And it was nothing like Iowa, though. He said Iowans just love Iowa. It was a nice quote.
Yeah. And there was a lot of quotes. We missed a lot of good stuff. There was a lot of good bowl games. We had a bowl game canceled
Due to weather,
due to weather. Yeah.
Boise State, Boston College.
Did you see?
that might be the first time
does
ever.
Boston College count that as a win?
I don't know.
They
Did
were
you
up-
see our boy Rick Webster on Twitter?
No, I've seen a lot, but I don't know. What
All
did
right,
he do?
so they said the First Responders Bowl is canceled, and he wrote now do the 2016 Rose Bowl because
yeah.
Iowa got worked by.
Yeah,
That was really good.
Yeah, I did see that.
How
saw
disappointing for you to practice a whole extra month.
I saw LeBron James put his big foot in his stupid mouth about 3 times when we've been gone.
What are you talking about? He's the AP Sportsman of the Year.
Yeah,
when he
good-
was beating the living snot out of Golden State before he got hurt.
I don't know. Was it? Or I know it was. Yeah, it was before that when he was basically using anti-Semitic slurs and then trying to compare NFL owners to race or to slave
Oh, yeah.
owners. Like he's a moron. Just be quiet, LeBron.
I got a quick question for you. I was thinking about this on the way over, and I don't know if Erickson's on here or not.
Oh, he is.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this: do you like Baker Mayfield? T. Ray,
No,
you don't. How come?
He's a punk.
Adam, do you like Baker Mayfield?
Kind of feel the same as T-Roy on this one.
All right. Serge?
Take him or leave him. I'm on the fence, man. I think he's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, I'm fine with him. I'm good with him. Now, Erickson likes him.
Yeah.
Erickson does not like Bryce Harper. They're the same guy. They're
See, I
both
don't-
passionate. I mean, they play
Bryce
different
has-
sports. and
Bryce has
everything.
better hair.
He does. But
I've never seen Bryce act quite as punky as Baker. I mean, Baker got tackled by a cop for being a punk. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, am I wrong?
I have no problem with
He's
him.
never done anything to me. Like I've never looked at him like I feel the same about Baker Mayfield as I do about Johnny Manziel, but I feel that Baker's a better quarterback.
Baker's already done a better job in the NFL than
No. I mean, I feel the same way about
Personally,
him.
right.
Personally. Not
Yeah.
that I listen,
I
I
know.
think Baker's 10 times better of a quarterback. Obviously he is. He's led his team, but he's just, the whole like staring down your ex-coach.
No problem with it.
Eh,
It's not like he left you. I mean, he got canned.
he got canned. It had nothing to do with that kid. It wasn't like that dude was keeping that kid from being good.
Easer A's just made the Baker is a winner though Bryce is a loser. That is an impossible thing to say.
That's
Because he won that.
stupid.
He's just pushing your buttons. You know it. And it worked.
Yeah,
It worked.
It is.
It's a winner, my
Nah.
big white hairy butt. He didn't
Yeah.
win it. He didn't win a national title in college, so he's not a winner. All right, you won
He
the
won
big.
the
You won the
Heisman.
big. You won the Big 12. Oh, easy.
Easy.
My sister could win the Big 12. I don't have a sister. So
Iowa
stick
State's
that
got a
in
big
your-
game tonight against Washington State.
8 o'clock ESPN.
Is it still 4? They're getting 4 points? I believe so. This is going to be an interesting game. Iowa State has played pretty well against some of the top offenses, but this is the top passing offense. They pass 70% of the time, with their quarterback completing 70% of his passes.
It's gonna be a great game, actually. I look forward to this one.
Yeah.
Like, there's been very few of them on, and even the one that got canceled. I've tried to watch a few of them. I did, by the way, click on.
ESPN's got him getting 2.5.
Okay. Well, it's moved. So that's
Well,
good.
I
People
was
don't
all
have
about. I was all about Wisconsin
it. I was on Wisconsin, yeah.
beating the crap out of Miami.
Two-
That was
it
pretty
is
nice.
2.5, Jay.
Cool. I like
I
that.
wonder if they just gave Wisconsin their turnover chain after that game. By the way,
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean Wisconsin. I mean they.
Did you chuckle when you got to see them in the Pinstripe Bowl?
Yeah, but I just thought I mean it was funny, but at the same time it was like they came there, they did what they were supposed to do, and they housed Miami. That was great, man. Good, good for Wisconsin. Hats off to Wisconsin fans. So Big Ten, what 2-0 so far?
So far.
So
They said down there, Iowa State fans of Washington State, it's about 50-1.
50 Iowa State to Washington
Yeah.
State. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's crazy. All right.
And is it true that we drink them out of Busch Light again, or is that just another?
No, but
rumor?
the commission the president of the Alamo Bowl at an Iowa State rally shotgun a Busch Light on stage.
He's gonna get in trouble for that.
I don't know why.
I know, neither do I.
Yeah.
But someone's gonna be up in arms.
Coach Q already did a shot ski. This is old news.
All right. Well, Adam, thank you so much for coming in. All right, 5 o'clock tonight. Tell me one more time. Tell everybody, what are you tapping?
Santa's leftover cookie tray stout.
All right. Santa's leftover cookie tray stout. And I know you guys are have a new menu, wine menu, beer menu, everything else. I shared it on Facebook and
Yeah,
everything.
new wines and cocktails. We're gonna have a special menu for New Year's at the restaurant too.
Ooh.
I think we're doing some wagyu beef, so
Ooh.
should be real tasty.
Yeah,
All right.
man. That sounds
There you
great.
go. All right.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for
And
having
we'll
us.
remind everybody, Front Street Brewery is the oldest brew pub in the state of Iowa. It's nestled beautifully along the bank of the mighty Mississippi and has served the fine community of Davenport since 1992. They have a bunch of great beers on tap, such as this lovely Davenport Gold I'm drinking right now, a satisfying American ale, the Wise Guy, their take on an instantly recognizable German wheat, or the Raging River, an English-inspired American IPA. You can check out the Facebook page for food and drink specials. Also visit their webpage at www.frontstreetbrew.com. And right now we're calling all bars and restaurants to get a hold of your local distributor and put some of that Front Street on your tap lines or in your cooler today. That's Front Street Brewery, 208 East River Drive, or the tap room in the Freight House Complex.
Hey, this is Goose, PA announcer for the Quad City Storm, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5.
Do it again, a little more heart.
You.
What does building a better bank look like? It starts with building Capital One cafes, warm, inviting places that feel nothing like a typical bank, where you can open an account with no fees or minimums in 5 minutes. And you'll always find people ready to help you, not sell you. Welcome to Banking Reimagined. What's in your wallet?
For consumers only. Offered by Capital One and a member FDIC. Cafes available in select locations. Copyright 2018 Capital One.
Right now at Checkers, try the new $4 meal deal, including your choice of either a crispy fish, spicy chicken, or checker burger with cheese sandwich, along with a small fry, 20-ounce drink, and a bonus side of chicken bites. It's all for only $4. Going on right now at Checkers. Right now at Checkers, try the new $4 meal deal, including your choice of either a crispy fish, spicy chicken, or checker burger with cheese sandwich, along with a small fry, 20-ounce drink, and a bonus side of chicken bites. It's all for only $4. Going on right now at Checkers.
ESPN 93.5 wants you to be an insider. Access great contests and giveaways and be in the know at ESPN935.com. Brought to you by Necker's Jewelers, where the Quad Cities gets engaged, and ESPN Quad Cities. From local to global, ESPN 93.5 has you covered with your Quad Cities sports talk show. It's Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Talk sports with your favorite foursome, T-Roy, Jay-Bird, Surge, and you. Weekdays from noon to 2 on ESPN 93.5.
This Friday, the Storm are back at the Tax Slayer Center to square off against the Evansville Thunderbolts. Friday is Crazy Hat Night. Break out your wackiest headgear for a chance to win a Storm prize and chow down on $2 hot dogs. New Year's Eve Monday, the Storm face their arch rivals, the Peoria Rivermen. Monday's game is presented by Harris Pizza, and the first 1,000 fans get a team poster. Puck drop is at 4 o'clock, so get your party started with any 2 tickets for $19, $2 hot dogs, and $2 beers. Get your tickets at QuadCityStorm.com.
'Twas the holiday season, and in your garage, a brand new John Deere. That's not a mirage. With neighbors admiring your shiny new ride, it's your year for a Deere to fill you with pride. So if additional offers are what you desire, see our low rates before they expire. Now start up your engines and drive out of sight. New John Deere equipment for all, and to all a good night. Make it your year for a Deere. See your John Deere dealer today to discover more amazing deals and attractive financing offers.
Score a touchdown on your next new or used purchase at Sexton Ford. With a huge selection of new Ford cars and trucks, you'll feel like you've entered the big game each and every time. You'll be treated like a pro player, from sales to service, auto body to parts. Sexton also has a strong bench of mildly used vehicles, too. Why wait? The game's on at Sexton Ford in Moline.
Oh yeah, Sexton Ford is the talk of the town.
Start off the new year at Winger Truck Line. When you drive for Winger, you become part of our family. We treat you with respect, offer fair pay, have great equipment. Did you just miss being home for Christmas? You won't next year if you drive for Winger. At Winger Truck Line, we know your life outside the truck is important. We respect that. Make 2019 your best year ever and come drive for us. Call today and see for yourself. Winger Truck Line, 800-593-6433, or visit drivewtl.com.
It's the after Christmas stock-up sale at JCPenney. Shop now and stock up on select home items like up to 60% off comforters, pillows, sheets, and towels. Plus, double up on the essentials you love with buy one, get one free basics for women and buy one, get one 50% off basics for men. And don't forget to use your coupon for an additional 20% off your purchase in-store and online. JCPenney, style and value for all. Offers valid 12/26 through 1/1. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
We are back in the Hassle Palace, brought to you by Dunright Satellite and Dish. And we want to remind everybody in the Quad Cities to stop going to the social media sites, asking for suggestions on where you're going to get your oil changed, who's going to put a tattoo on you, or where you're going to eat lunch. Just grab your Locals Love Us guide. It has an easy-to-navigate table of contents to help you find what you're looking for. Or you can just go to the website, localsloveus.com, click on Quad Cities, then browse your favorites. It's so easy to use, and they even rank the most popular places for you. So make sure you check out our friends from Locals Love Us, your guide to the best. Did either of your boys get on there and try to do any of the 25 Days of Giving?
Yes,
that
I
they had
did.
going? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now I'm going to give Quinn Early a call. Former Iowa Hawkeye receiver, 12-year NFL veteran, and let's catch up with him.
Yeah, sounds great. So while Jay's doing that, just want to remind everybody that we are going to be off until next Thursday after today. So if you miss us.
Hi, this is Quinn.
Hey,
I'm not
Quinn.
in right now.
Wow.
Tone, please leave your name, number, and message, and I'll get back to you.
Quinn just Metcalfed me.
Dude, you totally got Metcalf by an NFL star.
I just got Metcalf.
You probably don't want to leave Quinn a message.
Hey, Quinn. Call you later.
I can't believe I just got Metcalfed.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
We're big-time radio here, folks. It's Quad Cities.
This is why you don't do that live on the air.
So you get Metcalf.
That's why you
While
don't.
Jay's doing that, I'm going to call my friend LeBron. Oh, he didn't answer. Weird. He told me he would.
Oh, boy. I'm never going to
That's
get into
all right,
that.
buddy.
You might not.
I hope.
You might not. Why don't you text him and all the...
What other friends do you have? Hey, Q, Jay Bird.
Well. That's why you don't do it on the air, I guess. We learn.
Oh, man.
Well, my New Year's resolution is to...
Stop telling lies.
No!
Is to get us a screen crawler.
You heard the voicemail. That was actually him.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, everybody, this is Quinn. I'm probably out with my buddy Jay.
Yeah, I was going to be on a show, but
We'll keep an eye on in case he calls back. I'll let you know if he texts back. He knows.
He's in
seems to-
California,
Is he?
man. Maybe you forgot to do the time transfer thing.
All right. So until then, I've got this confidence pool thing to do. All right?
All right, talk to me, Goose.
All right, keep an eye over there.
I'm watching.
Okay.
I'm listening to you and watching it.
At 12:30, Auburn's playing Purdue in the Music City Bowl. I'm taking it's and on this confidence pool, it's -4.
-4 Auburn?
Auburn, yeah. I'm taking Auburn. Sorry, Big Ten fans.
I'm sorry, I'm taking Purdue, man.
Well, it's my sheet.
Oh, well.
I'm giving it 6. All right, Washington State. This is now -4 on here. It's obviously moved, but when this went out, Iowa State +4. What do you like here?
Iowa State.
You do. Why?
I don't know.
Serge?
Washington State.
I do too. I'm going Washington State. I'll figure out my confidence later.
I like
here.
Purdue, man.
Why?
I think they're going to play really hard for that kid with the cancer, Tyler.
Yeah, that was nice of
Tyler
the Colts
Trent.
to send him down
yeah,
there.
I think they're going to play hard for this kid. I don't know. It's just my thought.
Okay, Michigan -7, Florida, in the Peach Bowl. This is on Saturday.
I like Michigan.
Yeah, I like Michigan too.
I like Michigan as well. All right. Now, the semifinal games. The first one, Alabama -14, Oklahoma +14. This is in the Orange Bowl. College football semifinal playoff.
I think Oklahoma trounces them.
Oklahoma does?
Alabama?
I'm sorry, Alabama. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alabama's got a few guys out now. Is that right?
No, that's Clemson.
No, both of them.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Alabama also has 3 guys out.
Yeah, they lost their quarterback in the middle of the game last year and won the national title.
True, their backups are better than most people's
Yeah,
starters.
that's my
Understandable.
Yeah, I just.
Here's what I think about this.
It's going to hurt Clemson a lot more. It's going to hurt Alabama.
Alabama, I mean, they both have very high-scoring offenses, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's a defense that gets me going here.
Mm-hmm.
Because Oklahoma gives up like 2 times as many points per game than Alabama's defense does. 14's a lot, though. Stocking just said Bama hangs 70 on Oklahoma. I love the individual over-under on Alabama, and I don't even know what it is.
I love where his head's at. I mean, they might lay 70, and they might only give up 10.
I think
I think they shut them down.
I think Oklahoma's better than people think, but I don't know if they can cover 14.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I like Bama plus the points, or minus the points. I'm sorry.
I like Bama. Now, here's the other one. This is on this sheet. Clemson -10.5.
Clemson now without 3 guys, including their star defensive tackle, Dexter Lawrence. That's a big hole up the middle for them.
Does he have to miss one game or all the games? Is he gone for the entire postseason? What's the deal?
I'm not sure yet. That the B samples just came back yesterday or today.
No, they held up.
They did hold up for this game, but is it for the entire playoff though?
That I can't tell you right off the top of my head. All right, no matter what, I like Notre Dame the points. I actually like Notre Dame to win this outright.
I
to
do
be
as
honest
well.
with you. Not only do I like them to win outright, this will, would assume, probably make it the highest rated national championship since the college football playoffs started. People don't want to. Hey, well,
look at that.
Will you talk on the air while I tell him I'm going to call him real quick?
Yeah, Jay's in it. Well, that's great. He's calling Jay back at least. You know, we got that going for us, which is nice. So, all right, guys. While Jay's doing that, we want to remind everybody that our friends from Dunright Satellite are out there, and they're providing you with some of the greatest technology and TV security solutions in the Quad Cities. I told you guys.
It was his mom.
And they're also your Dish Premier local retailer. So get started today. Get a hold of them. And they're going to take the guesswork out of choosing the latest in your smart home technology with your budget in mind. Dish has been a leader in technology for years, and the Hopper Smart HDVR interacts with your smart speaker to change channels, pause, and fast forward with the sound of your voice. So if you sign up today, you're going to get a Nest doorbell system free, courtesy of Dunright. So all you need to do is call 866-84-RIGHT today and let Dunright provide local, professional installation with personal service that is trusted by thousands of homeowners and businesses in the Quad Cities. It does require an internet-connected Hopper, and restrictions do apply. Those are our friends from Dunright Satellite.
Calling my friend Quinn now.
You're calling him now?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to call him?
Ghostbusters?
Q. I will not call him Q, by the way.
Are you doing it or no?
Yeah, it's calling. It just takes a minute.
Oh, okay. You got to have that one button on, Jay, the red button.
Oh.
Yeah, that usually helps. Hi, Q. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
There you are. Hey, sorry about that. We had a little mix-up there.
Yeah, sorry. It's my fault.
All right, no.
So everybody out there in Quad City land, we are talking with Quinn Early, former Iowa Hawkeye and former 12-year NFL star for the Chargers.
And the Saints.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't want to leave anything out, Jay.
Yeah,
so, Quinn,
Bills
welcome to the
and
show.
Jets.
I'll tell you this. When I was a young man of about 14 years old, you were on the top of my list of wideouts that I loved.
All right, awesome. Thanks for that.
So a couple things I want to talk about. Just first off, Quinn, let's go through the early day, how you got to Iowa, and then in the NFL and what you've been doing since then. How did you make it to Iowa from New York?
Well, as you know, grew up on Long Island, and I was a four-sport athlete actually in high school. Basketball, track, obviously football, and I tried to play some lacrosse, but I was horrible at that, so that was short-lived. And then I started being recruited for football, and I know that Bernie Wyatt, who was the linebacker coach there for years, recruited on the East Coast, and he still helps out a little bit with the program. I think he was there looking at a kid from the rival high school that we were playing, and I think I returned a kickoff for a touchdown, and he started asking who was that, and then fast forward, I was in class one day, and that office phone rang in the corner, and the teacher answered it and told me to go to the office, and I thought I was in trouble. And when I got up there was some Iowa coaches sitting in there letting me know that they wanted me to come to school there, and I went through the whole recruiting process, and I absolutely loved it, and ended up at Iowa, and the rest is history.
How was it for the listeners? Explain what it was like playing for Coach Fry.
Absolutely loved it. He was more than an amazing football coach. He was definitely a male influence in my life. He taught a lot of great life lessons. Just how to be responsible, respectful, be on time. His thing was, if you're 5 minutes early, you're 15 minutes late, and just a lot of great lessons. When you look at the lineage that he's created, all the coaches, Coach Snyder and Barry Alvarez, and, the Stoops brothers, and on and on. We could talk about that for an hour, but, just his formula for success and winning has definitely been passed down. And I just think that he's influenced and touched a lot of people, both coaches and players.
Any funny stories with you and Chuck Long from back in the day?
Yeah, Chuck. And I actually just saw Chuck. I was back in Des Moines about a month or so ago. And we had some dinner and just a bunch of us, and we had a lot of great laughs. But Chuck, he was a senior. I was a freshman. And Chuck would always look at me before each game, and he'd go, "Today's your day, Q." And I just shoot him back the dirtiest looks because I knew, even though he said that, I knew I wasn't getting the ball. We'd go out into the game, and I'd be down there doing jumping jacks in the end zone, and he'd either run with it or he'd throw it to somebody else. And one day I told him, he said that to me, and I won't use all the curse words that I said to him, but I basically told him to shut up, because every week, "Today's your day, Q." That's what he would say to me. And, when I saw him, we laugh about that stuff now, but at the time it wasn't that funny.
We did now. After you were there for the Houtland kick, then do you guys still keep in touch with Houtland?
I actually ran into him. So my youngest son, Chance, was being recruited at Iowa, and we went to a football camp there, and we were in the stadium, and I looked over, and there was Rob. He was there. I think his daughter was there for a soccer camp. Gave him a big hug, and we probably spent about 45 minutes just talking and reminiscing, and what a great guy he is. But yeah, I was there for that, and just one of the many awesome experiences I had during my time there.
I mean that to me, I guess, and I didn't realize how spoiled I was at that age. But because when you're a kid, sometimes you just think that's going to happen every year. Iowa should be number one every year, and they should be beating Michigan with the last-second field goal every year. And
exactly.
And that was for you to be a part of it, man. I'll tell you what, that's pretty awesome. And like I said, just to be a kid in the state of Iowa at that time was pretty special itself. So
yeah, just a pretty amazing experience, and just to be a part of those teams and some of those players, and just made the best friends and that I still keep in contact with, and it was just an awesome experience.
Now you're out in San Diego now, Q, is that right?
Yep, that's right.
Okay, I was out there for a little while. I was in the Marine Corps, so I know where you're at. I love me some San Diego. I love Alberto's. Everybody knows that. Carne asada burritos are my favorite. I bring it up every time we got someone from San Diego on the air. But talk to us about your time with the Chargers and in the NFL in general.
Well, Quinn, real quick, you said you were a four-sport athlete, right? Your mother got you into some acting when you were younger, but football became your thing. When is it in college that you're like, all right, I can make this, I can go to the NFL? When did it click? When did you know? When did Coach Fry pull you aside of the coach and say, listen, you got it?
Well, I pretty much, when I was a kid, I told my mom when I was 8 that I was going to play in the NFL. Right? She'd pat me on the head and say, "Okay, that's nice, dear." And obviously, right, it's a long road and a lot of factors to help you to get there. But I always just stayed super focused, and I just worked extremely hard. And I'll tell you, playing for that program was a godsend, because Bill Snyder at the time was my receiver coach and offensive coordinator, the team, and he was a perfectionist. If you had an out route at 10 yards, you better run that thing at 10 yards. If he expected you to block, he expected you to be a complete receiver. And when I first got there, I couldn't stand the guy. He's yelling at me every day, and he's throwing his papers in his hat, and I'm like, damn, the guy's picking on me. But as I went along, by the time I got to be a junior, the only thing he had to say to me was, "Good job, good job." He pretty much molded me into someone who, if I went to the next level, that I would be successful. And like I said, I went out to practice every day. I was going to work harder than everybody else, and I would always say to myself, today is going to be my best practice I ever had. And I just approached it that way. And I knew that going into my junior year, that I was going to have an exceptional year. Unfortunately, I got hurt. I got hurt in the scrimmage before our first game, and I missed the first half of my junior year. And then I came back, and I had a great second half. We played my first game back that year was against Northwestern, caught I believe it was from Mark Vlasic, like a 95-yard touchdown pass or something. And then I think I led the Big Ten in yards per catch. Just playing in 5 or 6 games, and so I knew that going into my senior year, if I could stay healthy, that I would have a phenomenal year. And I think about halfway through my senior year, I started getting, agents were starting to try to approach me, and then I started hearing from NFL teams and getting letters and these things. And then the coaches said, "Hey, listen, there's a lot of interest for you. Just keep doing what you're doing, keep working hard, and things like that." So I knew that, come the end of my senior year, I was pretty sure that I was going to get drafted, and drafted pretty high.
So what was it? So did you go through the combine and everything?
I did. I was invited to the combine, and I went there, and I did pretty well. And I think to this day, that 1988 draft class produced more wide receivers or more quality wide receivers than any other class in draft history. It might have changed since then. I'm not sure, but it was players like Michael Irvin.
Yeah, Irvin was in that, and
Sterling Sharp, and Aaron Cox and Aaron Glenn. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Tim Brown, and I feel really fortunate. I think other than Tim Brown, I think I lasted longer in the league than all those guys. And it was just super humbled by it, and super appreciative of the fact that I got an opportunity to do that, and to be able to do it as long as I did.
Yeah, that's incredible that to have that many years. Some people say the NFL stands for not for long, but 12 solid years.
Yeah, you were now, Quinn. If I
40
remember
touchdowns.
right, when you were on the Chargers, you played with Natron Means, right?
No, he was after me.
After you,
He was
okay.
After me. I think when I got there, they had Rod Bernstein, Tim Smith, who coached for Ohio State for a lot of years after his career. Guys like that.
Was Junior there when you were there?
Who?
Junior?
Yeah.
Junior got there. Yeah, my second year in the league was Junior's rookie year. So
Okay.
we got to be for 2 years, and then after that, I left for New Orleans. But the Chargers, we were so bad back then that it was a revolving door. You could pretty much tear the team picture in half and throw it in the trash every year because it was going to be a whole new team
Right.
every year. So
you went to New Orleans. You played with you played with that legendary linebacker crew at New Orleans then.
yeah, the Dome Patrol.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, Sam Mills and Pat Swilling and Vaughn Johnson and those guys, and it was those were some great teams too.
You had Bubby Brister was throwing balls to you. Is that right? If I'm just getting my NFL knowledge out, but I'm trying to remember.
No, it was when I first got there. It was Bobby Hebert.
Oh, Bobby Hebert, that's right.
Yeah, Bobby Hebert, and then he left, and then I had 1 year with Wade Wilson, and then who became the Dallas Cowboys quarterback coach for a number of years, and then I also had like Steve Walsh.
Yeah.
There was just a couple of guys that kind of came in there a little bit here and there, and then they signed Jim Everett.
Mm-hmm.
And those were my best years. I played with him 94 and 95.
Yeah.
And those years, catching 80-plus balls a year, and we just had a really good rapport, and we had some good years together. But I'll tell you, man, during my NFL career, I probably played with 17 or 18 quarterbacks. I mean, again, we could spend 20 minutes with me going through the rundown. I mean, I played with people like Jim McMahon, and, David Archer, and Mark Malone, and I played with all kinds of guys throughout the years. But,
So were you were with the Saints in '92, correct? Then am I doing my math right? So I saw you guys play the Rams. So I know you were there if you're there because I saw you play the Rams in '92 up in Anaheim, back when they were there originally. And I remember I was up pretty high in the stands, but I remember seeing Ironhead Hayward from a long ways away, and he looked like a monster from a long ways away. What was he like up close?
Yeah, he was a monster up close too. That guy, so Ironhead was probably about 5'11", but he weighed about 250, 260, but could run a 4.4. I mean, So he could run around you, he would run over you, through you, and he was just this amazing athlete. And what a good player he was, man. It's a tragedy, about him passing. I'll tell you what's amazing, though, is watching his son, Cameron. I remember him as like a 4-year-old in the locker room.
Wow.
And now he's one of the best defensive players in the whole NFL. And so, it's pretty cool to watch.
Speaking of running 4.4s, do you remember what you ran at the combine?
I think at the combine, I ran in the 4.4s somewhere. I don't remember exact. God, it was so long ago.
It's 4.41.
It's a 4.41, yeah.
We looked it up.
We looked it up for you.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and I was a 4.4 guy who could occasionally, I could bust a 4.3, if I had the wind at my back,
Right.
But, again, man, I was just, super appreciative, just all those experiences.
This has your miles per hour on there, too.
Yeah.
18.55 miles per hour.
Say it again?
18.55 miles per hour.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you, I'm not running that these days.
Me neither.
All right. So when you get done with the NFL, you go back to San Diego, right?
Yeah.
And then how do you get into becoming a stuntman?
Yeah. So it's super random. Bill Perkins, who's a former teammate of mine, one of my best friends, he did really well in business. He worked on Wall Street, traded commodities. He's a hedge fund manager now. And his passion was movies and making movies. So he became a producer. He calls me and he goes, "Hey, come on and be in my movie this weekend." And I was like, "All right, sure, why not? Sounds like fun." And next thing I know, I get there. Next thing I know, I'm hanging out the back of a truck shooting a machine gun. and then they gave me a check. And I was like, "Are you serious?" I would have done this for free all day, every day. And I became friends with the stunt coordinator, and I asked him how do I do this for real, and then he gave me the blueprint, and I just started hustling, and it was gradual. I did that movie, and then the next year I was in the movie Olympus Has Fallen, with Gerard Butler.
Yeah, I just watched that the other night.
Yeah, so there's a part where he's running to the White House and the fence blows up. And he's getting up off the ground, and you'll see me like holding a gun, like telling everybody to get back. And then
I've seen that movie like 100 times.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the part. And then you see me like getting punched in the face or something. I don't know. And then, in my third year, I did 2 or 3 things, and then by my 4th year, I started to work all the time. And so that's how I got into it, and it's been awesome.
All right. Now, in September 2018, you published a book. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah. So, I mentioned my mom earlier in the call, and she was this amazing woman. Like my father left us when I was about 12 years old, left us with no money, nothing, and she was a housewife. And she went back to school and got her bachelor's, master's, and PhD. And then she was working 2 jobs and then trying to raise me, which, I was kind of a pistol, so I know she had her challenges with that. And so anyway, so she was, again, my biggest fan. She came to all my Iowa games when I got drafted. She came out here to San Diego. She helped us, me and my wife raise our kids. And, she's just this phenomenal woman. She was always very supportive. During my NFL career, she wrote this book. And she tried to share it with me. And I was like, whatever, Mom. I was too into doing what I was doing. But then in 2008, my mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And she brought that book back out, and she told me about it. And she said, will you please have this published for me? And I told her I absolutely would. And I came home, I put the book on the shelf. She passed away in 2013. Finally, about 2.5 years ago, I picked up the book and I read it. And I just wept like a baby. And it's a book called Bryant Acres. And it's about my great-grandfather, 7 generations removed. His name is Sherrod Bryant. And he was a free man of color during slavery in the antebellum South, and he sold himself into indentured servitude. He fell in love with the plantation owner's daughter, and then he went on to become one of the wealthiest landowners in the South. So it's a true story, and my mom did years and years of research, and I read the book. It's just an amazing book. And once I read it, I just, it really made me miss her because I was like, I wish, and stuff happens how it's supposed to, but I really wish I would have been more into it when she was alive so I could discuss it with her,
And what was the name of the book again, Quinn? We couldn't hear you.
Yeah, it's called Bryant Acres, like Kobe Bryant.
Right.
Bryant Acres. And the money that I'm raising for the book goes to Alzheimer's research in my mom's name. And if you would like to purchase the book, it's BryantAcres.com. And right now, if you enter code 2019, it's $3 off the book. But like I said, the proceeds go to Alzheimer's research.
All right. Everybody out there, once again, go to BryantAcres.com, enter code 2019. It'll get you a little bit of money off. And the money from the book is going to Alzheimer's research. So that's a great cause. You know what? I'm going to tell you what. That sounds like an awesome story. And everybody listening knows, Quinn, I don't read, but I'm going to read that book.
Awesome.
So
that's once I've gotten so much positive feedback, and people say they have a hard time putting it down, and that's what happened to me.
Well, this sounds like it should be a movie too, Quinn. Any talk of that?
Yeah, I actually wrote a screenplay based on the book, and I've been working on that, and I've gotten into some people, and so we'll see. We'll see.
I know a guy who can do some stunt work for you.
Yeah, I'll do my own stunt.
No, it's an incredible story, and I'm glad you got to share it with us. We shared on our Facebook Live video and our YouTube Live. I shared it on the website on there, and I'll send you the link later. Just jump into something else. When doing the research for you, is this true that you're the first human being to heli bungee out of a helicopter over the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's true. So what happened was I got a call one day from stunt coordinator, TJ White, is stunt coordinator here in Los Angeles, and he knew that I had doubled for Will previously, and we're about the same size, same weight, and he asked me if I would be interested in testing a bungee jump that he was going to be doing. He got challenged by I think it's a YouTube channel called Yes Theory. There's a group of guys who, anytime somebody challenges them to do something, they go ahead and do it, no matter how crazy the stunt. And so they challenged him to jump out of a helicopter over the Grand Canyon for his 50th birthday. And he did, he raised a bunch of money for charity and all that. So anyway, they had me test it, and I actually did it first here in Los Angeles, out over a rock quarry. We went 600 feet up. It was a 200-foot bungee. And I bungee jumped backwards out of a helicopter, and went well.
Obviously. You're still here.
I'm here talking to you guys today, so it worked out pretty good. And then from there, they invited me to go out to the Grand Canyon and test it one more time to make sure that all the conditions were right. And that one was, I believe it was 1,000 feet over the Grand Canyon floor. And I got to tell you guys, I'm scared of heights. So it was an opportunity for me to really face my fears.
How did you, if you're afraid of heights, how did they talk you into jumping out of a helicopter to troubleshoot bungee cords?
Well, I'll tell you, money's a factor, right? So that helped. Also, too, I knew that it was a challenge to myself, and I knew that if I didn't do it, I would regret it. I just thought that, my thing is do something amazing with your life. I want to, when this life is over, I want to be able to say that, man, what a ride that was, and it was just an opportunity for me to overcome my fears. And I'll tell you, when I did it, so I was sitting on the skid of the helicopter, and I was facing into the helicopter. So I just picked a spot on the floor. I didn't look what was behind me. I didn't look down. I just got in the zone, and I concentrated. And when they did the countdown and told me to go, I just went. And I'll tell you, the first time I did it, I felt like I was falling to my death. I mean, I was like, oh,
right.
Oh. And then when I got to the bottom, I was like, yeah.
As soon as that cord pulled. Now, Jay, did you skydive out of the Red Bull?
Yeah, plane? Yeah.
So Jay skydived out of this, and then I was in the Red Bull stunt helicopter that did backflips and barrel rolls. I can't imagine jumping out of it, though.
No.
Man, you know,
I hung from a helicopter.
It's amazing. Like to me, like that's crazy. Like, and I have friends who are who are skydivers, and you know, they go every chance they get. You know, and I just that's too much for me. You know, but man, it was a pretty great experience. I think. I double Shamar Moore on the TV show SWAT also.
Oh, nice.
And the first episode of this season.
I love Derek Morgan.
What's that?
I love Derek Morgan. That was his character on Criminal Minds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. So, but yeah, we were up on the bank, U.S. Bank building, which is the highest building in L.A., and we did a fight scene inside of a helicopter as the helicopter was flying. And one of my buddies was hanging on the skid by his arms of the helicopter as the helicopter was flying and banking and doing all that stuff. Now, he was harnessed in, so he wasn't going to go anywhere, but that was before I did my bungee jumping. I told him he was crazy. I thought that was crazy stuff.
It sounds crazy.
Now, Quinn, do you still follow the Iowa Hawkeyes?
Oh yeah, I'm a nut on Saturdays. I'm in here watching a game and I'm throwing stuff and yelling and screaming and cheering. And you know, it's funny because I could watch any other college football game, any NFL game, and it's no big deal. I might not even finish the game. I just walk away from it, you know. But when the Hawkeyes are playing, I'm all in. And I love my school. I love the team. You know, and I'll tell you, and you can ask probably anybody who went to school there that, you know, once a Hawkeye, always a Hawkeye, you know.
Well, that's funny you say that, Quinn, because a gentleman just walked in our studio, another former Hawkeye and NFL star, Julian Vandervelde.
Oh, hey, Quinn, what's up, man?
Julian, what's going on, buddy? How you doing, man?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, thanks.
So you, I would assume you were really pulling for the Hawks to make it to the Holiday Bowl this year.
I was. I really thought I was a little bummed when I saw it was the Outback Bowl, but I'm just happy they're in a bowl game, and then I'm pulling for them and hope they do well. But it would have been nice to have them out here.
I was coming if they were going out there. That was where I was heading. I already had it all set and ready. I love my Sand Dog. I love coming out to San Diego.
Yeah, it's great out here. It's a little expensive to live, but if you can afford it, I mean, the weather's fantastic. So.
Well, I'm gonna start jumping out of helicopters. Maybe I can afford it.
Are there any movies that you're going to be working on soon?
You know, it's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a crapshoot. They'll just call you and say, "Hey, you want to work?" You know, oh yeah, sure. But so there's nothing really scheduled. But like I said, I double Shamar on SWAT. So
yeah,
that's a pretty regular thing. I do that, you know, a couple times a week here, and you know, and whatever else comes up, you know. So
that's awesome.
42,000. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Quinn, it's been really nice catching up with you. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're busy, and we really appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us today.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Quinn.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And again, you know, BryantAkers.com. Put in the code 2019, and then you get a couple of dollars off the book. Phenomenal story, and then all the money goes to Alzheimer's and Alzheimer's research. So thanks, everybody, for your support on that.
Absolutely, Quinn. We'll definitely push
we'll
that.
Push that all day, Quinn. Thank you, sir.
Thanks,
yeah,
Quinn.
thank you, and go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
All right, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of break, and we'll be right back with Julian Vandervelde. And whether you're looking for
I'm
a family
Jay Farner,
getaway,
CEO of Quicken Loans.
Go on. We just don't have a lot of time.
Whether you're looking for a family getaway, friends and family group vacation, or a romantic retreat for 2 years, you simply need a travel professional to help you plan that perfect destination wedding. Throne Travel is here to help you. So let Throne Travel get started today in making those travel dreams come true. Contact Janelle at 563-323-0889. Once again, that's Janelle, 563-323-0889. Throne Travel. Make all your travel dreams come true.
This is Adam Rosso from Hawkeye Headquarters, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5.
America's premier home purchase lender. We've created a new way to protect you from unpredictable interest rates. Our exclusive Rate Shield approval. First, we lock your interest rate for up to 90 days. Then, if rates go up, your rate stays locked. But if rates go down, your rate drops. Either way, you win. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Additional conditions or exclusions may apply.
ESPN 93.5 wants you to be an insider. Access great contests and giveaways and be in the know at ESPN935.com. Brought to you by Necker's Jewelers, where the Quad Cities gets engaged, and ESPN Quad Cities. From local to global, ESPN 93.5 has you covered with your Quad Cities sports talk show. It's Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Talk sports with your favorite foursome, T-Roy, Jay-Bird, Surge, and you. Weekdays from noon to 2 on ESPN 93.5.
This Friday, the Storm are back at the Tax Slayer Center to square off against the Evansville Thunderbolts. Friday is Crazy Hat Night. Break out your wackiest headgear for a chance to win a Storm prize and chow down on $2 hot dogs. New Year's Eve Monday, the Storm face their arch rivals, the Peoria Rivermen. Monday's game is presented by Harris Pizza, and the first 1,000 fans get a team poster. Puck drop is at 4 o'clock, so get your party started with any 2 tickets for $19, $2 hot dogs, and $2 beers. Get your tickets at QuadCityStorm.com.
ESPN 93.5 is KJOC Bettendorf Quad Cities from the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studio.
Welcome back to Don't Hassle Us Local here in the Hassle Palace, brought to you by Dunride Satellite and Dish. Joining us in studio is Julian Vandervelde. Welcome back to the show, Julian.
Thanks, guys.
We're going to call Rosso. We're going to bother him down in Tampa.
All right. Well, Serge, can you talk a little bit? I'm going to pour Julian some
No,
Davenport
I
Gold.
got it. Yeah, I got this.
You got this?
He's going to, yeah.
He's not gonna.
Am I doing it?
Metcalf you?
Well, yeah. I hope not. He knows I'm calling,
If you
too.
get Metcalf again, I'm gonna die laughing.
This is Adam.
Rosso!
What's going on, guys?
Sounds like a party down there.
Roscoe Pico train.
Just kicking it outside the Tampa General Hospital here. We're waiting for the Iowa and Mississippi State players to come in. They're going to do a little visit here at the Children's Hospital, part of the General Hospital, and do some cool things there. So it'll be a nice little photo op, and hopefully talk to a couple of the players just on the parallels between doing something like this and obviously the guys go over to the U of I Children's Hospital in Iowa City a few times a year, so that's a pretty cool thing and just another fun thing down here. I will say I'm wearing shorts and a dry fit polo, so
You're my
very
hero.
comfortable.
Hey, we
I'm
got
not
we got
sweating
Julian
either.
Vandervelde in studio with us, by the way. So say hi to Julian
nice.
as well.
What's going on, Julian?
What's going on, Rosso? How you doing, man?
Not too bad. Making the rounds.
All right.
So it's like 80 degrees there, Rosso. I just want to rub it in everybody's face once again.
Yep, the sun came out at practice today. We were filming the first half hour or so I got a little sweaty. I'm not sunburned though, which is good.
We had a little bit of freezing rain today. Kidwell's having a blast back here without you.
Right on. How's the temperature in the studio though, Julian? They have some problems controlling the temp in there sometimes.
It's nice. I'm gonna leave my jacket on, but it's nice in here. I'm digging it.
Okay. You got to layer up when you go in there, but you can always take it off and just roll up the t-shirt too, which is the beauty.
Jay doesn't have a space heater on today, so we're
No.
good.
Yeah. and we're getting a new studio to the first of the year, so you never know what the new studio is going to be like, Rosso, when you get back.
Right on.
Rosso,
good.
you had some troubles getting down there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't know. Well, you guys don't have any airline sponsors, but I've never been a big fan of United Airlines, and it again kind of got screwed. But ended up having to rebook through Delta. But like I told Jay last night, the good thing was I was sitting basically one seat behind Madison Keys. So when I got off the plane, I just quick chatted with her a little bit. She's headed down to Florida to train, and then flying to Australia for the Australian Open next week, she said. So that was a little bit of a consolation. But yeah, it was kind of a circus getting down here either way. But
well, my neighbor John flies for Delta, so we'll just give all credit to John then.
There we go.
My
Right
buddy
on.
Johnny
Yeah, it was good.
Blackburn, he's the man.
Didn't you book your
You know
own
that-
flight?
No, we did it through the corporate thing at work, but then when, the United flight ended up being delayed, so I had to rebook to be able to get here yesterday. So it ended up being fine, but just a little bit of a hiccup to get here. So I didn't get to do much last night other than film stuff for our bowl special that's airing on Monday at 6:30 over on Channel 4.
Cool. So when did you get down there? What day?
Yesterday afternoon, I guess it was about 2 o'clock, got to the hotel, buzzed over to the stadium to record some things for the Outback Bowl special, and then relaxed. Actually went to an Indian food place last night. I know you want to talk food. It was some of the best butter chicken I've had. So butter chicken, some garlic naan, very, very good if you're into that sort of thing.
Hey, watch out for Kakert. I know he's going to try to get you to go to one of those gentlemen's clubs.
Yeah, we'll see. I need a bank transfer probably to roll with him, though, right?
You might, man. I know he knows where all the free food is for media, so you might want to. It might be advantageous to you to hook up with him.
Definitely. They do have a nice setup down there. We'll say the hotel. They got a hospitality room for us. Have all the bowl games on, so we'll have to maybe catch that Cyclone Washington State game later tonight, see how that goes. But yeah, overall it's been good so far. Obviously the weather, a complete 180 from last year's igloo over in New York City, so that's always good.
Yeah, that was good. You saw, I don't know if you got to see it at all if you got in time, but Wisconsin handled Miami pretty easily last night, so that was good news for the Big Ten. And so did the Gophers had a victory as well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. When I did cover Minnesota, I wrote that, I think next year is kind of the year you judge Fleck and that whole stick up there. They're sticking to that mantra that they got going, and obviously some of the guys are buying in because they had a really good end of the season. And I think that year 3, kind of like when Kirk took over, at Iowa back, early 2000s. I think that year 3 is really the step. It's really when the foundation, the guys that came in with Fleck really start contributing and actually start, being and looking like Big Ten football players. So Big Ten West will be very fun again next year. Obviously Iowa should have a ton back as long as they keep the guys that could declare early. We asked about that today. Everybody pretty mum on the word. Hooker and Anthony Nelson didn't say much of anything. They're just focusing on the game, the company line. Phil Parker said, he talked to Amani for about 5 minutes about it, but they haven't really done much. So that'll be more for, after Tuesday's game is finished. But I'd be surprised if anybody besides Hawkinson went. I don't know about how you guys feel about that. I know we talked earlier, but I really think TJ's the only one with a tough decision, just because I would think Amani and Anthony Nelson both would benefit from another year playing and obviously getting stronger with Coach Doyle.
Well, I mean, with Julian here, Julian, what do you think about it? Do you think TJ should stay? Or, I mean, right now, he's the top linebacker, top tight end in the country, technically,
yeah,
right?
It's hard to say. Just, you think about how much money is going to be coming his way if he goes out. And, I'd love for him to stay. Don't worry.
Is he guaranteed a first 2-round pick, do you guys both think?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I think
if he's not the second or third tight end off the board, it's a travesty.
Okay.
And Julian, you got to strike while the iron's hot. There's, in this game especially, as you can attest to, there's no guarantees that next year is going to be like this year, and next year, God forbid, you could have a season-ending injury, and then what happens? So I think I agree with you guys. I think as long as he's projected to be a first or second round pick, I would imagine he'll decide to declare early.
Yeah, I again just go. Yeah, that's the right thing to do.
I think even as a fan, I urge him to go because you always love seeing the former Hawkeyes make it in the NFL, and we're always prideful guys like Julian and Quinn, who was just on, or whoever it is,
So Ross, you said you have some time free tonight. What's the rest of your agenda look like before game time?
A lot of events like this, they're doing a bowling thing tonight that I'll probably go live on Channel 4 from, and then tomorrow, coach's press conference and a few other things. Guys are getting off the bus here, but a few other things like that. Coach's press conference, they got some, photo ops at different places, and then really there's a beach day on Sunday, which should be fun as long as the weather's nice, and then New Year's Day, the Ybor City Parade, and that'll pretty much do it. So really this was kind of the last main football day we'll have. We went over to practice, interviewed the guys, then it's a lot of this community stuff, these photo ops, and then obviously the game at 11 a.m. Central on New Year's Day. So I'm pretty excited for it. I think touchdowns are going to be hard to come by, but should be a good test for the Hawks, especially the Mississippi State defense, which if you look at the rankings, they're ranked ahead of Alabama in a lot of stats. So that's pretty wild. But I got to bail here, guys.
Yep.
Thanks for giving me a call and fitting me in. Julian, good to talk to you as well. Hope you enjoyed that Reese Morgan story. Obviously, I love doing it and chatting to you as well.
I did appreciate it, Em. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Rosso. Take care.
All right, talk to you guys.
Bye.
So he's got obviously full plate.
Well, I pretty much you know that agenda, don't you?
Oh, it's a little bit crazy. Like they
Mhm.
give you enough free time to really enjoy yourself, but it's it's in the late afternoons and evenings. You get in your practice, and then they pretty much have you scheduled doing either community stuff or team-oriented stuff. It's you're still down there to play the game, so you still have the fullest allotment of practices and film time, and especially if you're going to be a starter or a key backup. This is that game where you want to spend that extra 2 hours a day combing over the film and getting any little edge that you can. So it's a little bit tough to find free time down there.
Julian, did you ever play in that bowl?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We
We are
South
in
Carolina.
studio right now with Julian Vandervelde here at Don't Hassle Us, We're Local, ESPN 93.5. Kaker did tell me that you had some good Outback Bowl stories.
Oh yeah, we had a great time
Yeah.
down there. That was my favorite bowl game to go to. That was the Sean Green year,
Mhm.
and we kind of had a similar thing to what this team has going into it, where we were facing the old ball coach
Oh,
in
you
South
whipped him, too,
Carolina,
yeah.
and and all the talk was about their defense and about the SEC size and the SEC speed and how the Big Ten wouldn't be able to keep up, and we were just going to get steamrolled. And my favorite story from down there is I knew that we were going to beat them before the game started, because we went to Busch Gardens one day, and there's a picture that always floats around this time of year of me with a flamingo like pecking at my head, and then there's one of like me and Mike Daniels holding a boa constrictor together. And that was one of the things that we did, was we got to get into these animal cages with the animals that they were sure weren't going to kill us, and kind of do some interactions with them and do some media photo shoot stuff. And the South Carolina guys, these big 6'7", 6'8", monster, SEC, NFL products, just they wouldn't get in there with them. They're just like, no, man, I don't do birds. Man, I don't do birds. It was what one dude said when we're, getting in there with. I'm like, dude, it's a flamingo. You got to be kidding me. I'm just like, the mental edge that gave us, I think, at that point was astronomical. It's just there was no way that they were winning the game after. I was like, if you won't get in this pen
afraid
with
of birds,
a
you're gonna
flamingo,
be afraid of a hawk.
Yeah, how are you gonna step onto the field with us? And yeah, we did. We ended up beating them pretty good.
I remember that game.
That's great. I don't do birds.
I don't do
Yeah,
birds.
don't do birds, man. I don't do birds. I was like, well, then you're gonna have a hard time with us. So.
Yeah,
So-
you missed kind of the interview with Quinn. He was saying, I'm afraid of heights, but he was the first guy to bungee jump out of a helicopter.
Over the Grand Canyon, yeah.
Serge is like, wait a minute, how did you do that? He goes, well, money. Money's a very very motivating
So-
factor.
Okay, so that was I didn't want to drag on like with our stories about like that we got
Right.
to do with the Red Bull stunt stuff, but okay, so I'm not afraid of heights. I'm a little bit of a thrill seeker. I really love that stuff, and being in the Red Bull stunt helicopter that does backflips and barrel rolls and nose dives, that was a little bit of a rush for me, even though I love that stuff. To go from there to jumping out of it, to bungee jump out of that, that's a huge leap, no pun intended.
Well,
but
yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like I went spy rigging before, so I don't know if you know what that is.
No.
So spy rigging is basically you hang from a rope from a helicopter while it flies around.
Okay.
And it's
So that's
sounds
not
like
far
it's
off
cooking.
from- right.
Yeah, it's cooking.
So that would to go from just being in this thing that's doing backflips and stuff to jumping out of it to bungee jump, that would take some coaxing just for me to even do.
Yeah,
and you can really talk me into anything.
I'm not necessarily afraid of heights, but I don't know. I don't like.
Serge, want to go jump
you
out of a
know?
plane today? Okay.
Like I look at it like I'm like that's high up. I don't want to fall.
Yeah,
that's kind of.
Were you nervous skydiving, Jay?
Yeah.
That was your first time, wasn't it?
Yeah, here's what I did. I did it, and I thought going into it, I said to my wife, I like this rush, this adrenaline. This is something I probably could get addicted to. I jumped out of it. I made it back. We jumped out of Geneseo. I made it back, and 2 hours later, I said, what the F did I do? I'm never doing that again. So I've never done it again. So it took me that long till it finally it hit me. So
the first time, when we were on that helicopter, they rock back and forth, and the first thing he did is he goes, all right, we're gonna nosedive. I'm like, we're gonna what?
Why?
So he rocks it back and forth, and to where you're just facing the ground.
Yeah.
It just lets it go, and you're just staring at the ground. You think you're gonna crash. I'm like, I
sure hope you're not.
I trust this guy. And
If I go, he goes too.
And then all of a sudden he comes back up. Now you're going straight up in the air, and he goes right into a backflip and no barrel roll. And you're like, gee, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, thanks.
It was fun.
So Julian was a friend of the podcast. This is the first time you've been in the studio.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a nice place.
Friend of the show.
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
got beer on the
Yes.
podcast, I think, did I? You guys give me a beer at Harrington's?
We might have
No.
tried pints. We might have tried.
I think we
pints,
tried.
yeah.
You were just.
But you were always working.
Yeah.
I was, that's true.
Yeah,
You were in
so-
uniform.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Which I kind of am now. You got to understand, this is always a work environment for me.
He's
'cause
getting
Moxie,
low. He's getting low over
Moxie
there.
powers the studio.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
if you saw
right.
that sign.
I did,
So
yeah.
Oh
Moxie-
yeah, we know that.
Yeah, this is a Moxie solar powered building.
We knew you'd
so
been in
we
this
were-
building before. I know
Yeah.
they had you down the hallway. So no,
Yeah.
we're happy to have you. It's
I assume it's
great.
always 5 o'clock on Friday. So
Yeah, that's
it's,
right.
Yeah.
It's a holiday still. I mean,
It is.
we're technically off.
It's funny because we've had you on, we've had Pat Inger on, and then Quinn kind of said the same thing when we asked him, "Are you still, you still follow the Hawkeyes?" And he said, it was just about the time you're sitting down. He said, "Well, once you're a Hawk, you're always a Hawk," and you've said that before, and Pat too. And you've always said about, even though they had different coaching staffs, they both. He still kind of mirrors your guys' story when he talks about Coach Fry, about how much he respects him and the family atmosphere that you get from the coaching staff.
A male figure in his life.
Yeah.
What were his exact words.
Yeah.
And you've many times I've heard you say that Coach Ferentz a father figure.
Yeah, Coach Ferentz, Coach Morgan, Coach Doyle. I mean that trio right there was. I mean, if you want to take a look at a model for what I would say shapes a man, like those three, just the caring that they have for everyone around them, their strength of conviction, the way that they handle their business, the class and integrity, the mental and physical toughness that comes along with it. There was never going to be a better group of guys that I could have played for, developed under, or learned from. And I'm just, I'm so grateful for everything, and I'm glad that they're still there, shaping young men's lives. And I just hope that that train continues down the line. That when, I know a lot of people, when they think about, Kirk, sometimes they're a little disappointed by the record from year to year. And, every year you get the chance of, it's time to fire Kirk and whatnot. And I think you have to look so far beyond what happens on the field to really find the value, the full value of what him and that staff brings. And I do hope that when it's his time to step down, that they are able to continue in that vein that Coach Fry and Coach Ferentz have held there for 40 years.
Kind of changed speeds a little bit, but you had probably the funniest tweet over Christmas that I have seen.
That got way more attention than I thought it was going to.
You're referring to Nick Foles, and you called him Saint Nick,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
that Saint Nick
Yeah.
had his hands on your taint.
Yep.
And man, I'm dying laughing. Obviously, I'm not an Eagle fan, but I'm like, that is great, and for you to see an ex-teammate play this well. Back-to-back years in this, almost
crushing it,
almost in the same position in a way. I mean, granted, they need a lot of help to make the playoffs. But that being said, man, the writing's kind of on the wall. Do they go with Nick here, Julian?
I don't. Here's the weird thing. I don't think so. I think
Okay.
that Carson is your career quarterback. I think that he is.
But is he
your
now
future.
injury prone? I just
he's a little injury prone, and so do you play him down the stretch? I think not.
No.
I think that if if the cards align and you make it to the playoffs, honestly, that's where I have a little bit more trouble with it, because you want to get him playoff experience because you think you're going to be back. You want him to be playing in those types of games because of the type of athlete that he is. But at the same time, it's like, well, if you want to win now, Nick's clearly the guy, right? When I was playing and Nick was with Philly the first time around, he had some problems holding the ball a little bit too long. It led to some plays breaking down, a couple of
coachable.
tempo problems, and it's coachable. And you look at him now and the level of confidence that he plays with, and the command and the mastery that he has of the offense. I think some of that's Dougie Peterson. I like Dougie when he was there with Andy Reid, and I think that he does a great job. But Nick is just on a whole different level right now. The fact that he stayed on as a backup after being the Super Bowl MVP is outrageous. It's ludicrous. At this point, he's better than at least 2/3 of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now. He should have a starting job somewhere else. But if he decides to stay, that's
But
it's his decision.
Isn't it something to do with Doug Peterson, because he was going to retire, and it was Andy Reid that got him back in, and then he stayed with Doug. He went with Doug Peterson to the Eagles because he was with the Chiefs.
Right.
So maybe it's just something that he likes the system, the comfortability, and he doesn't want to.
it's working for him. I know
Yeah.
that. I
Well,
mean,
and they
you
say
can't
that
deny
there's-
it. I mean, the guy has been beaten since when?
It's been a while.
I mean, yeah, and one of those victories is a Super Bowl.
And they made an incredible gamble. It's something like in his
Right.
contract that $125,000 for every start and an extra $125 for every win. So he made when they signed it, it was
He's
incredible.
making good money.
Yeah.
Well, and that's part of the other
because
thing
he won his
too.
first 2 starts of the regular season as well,
Yeah.
didn't he? Yeah, I'm like,
And that
I'm
was
trying
why
to
I
make
put
sure
that
I'm not.
tweet out there because he's we always knew that Nick was clutch, right? His playoff numbers are outrageously good,
Right.
But to see him now also leading them to victories in the regular season when it seemed like they were out of it is really cool, and I'm glad to see his playoff performances translating into regular season performances. So now you say, well, not only can he get you there, but he can win once you're in the playoffs too. But being the backup quarterback in the NFL is like the greatest gig of all time. You can do that for 15, 20 years, make a lot of money, and save most of the hits on your body that a lot of starters go through. So, he's in a really nice position right now. I don't know if he would want to switch if somebody gave him the chance to start somewhere
I'll
else.
tell you, yeah. I mean, I guess if I'm him, I'm all about it all day long. Yeah, I'll come in. I'll be a hero. There goes my hero.
Yeah.
Watch him as he goes, baby.
Things change, Mox. You're the starting quarterback now.
I'll make out with you, ladies.
So, looking at that, and I want to get to the NFL a little bit later, but so you mentioned about the Hawkeye season, and you start the season, and I would say at the beginning, if Vegas has it, Iowa over or under win at 7.5, it's fine, and then they get a little momentum. And then you hit Wisconsin. How do you, on your game day Saturday, and which, by the way, you were not an honorary captain. You went to Kinnick this year.
Yeah, NIU. I was the honorary captain.
Honorary
for
captain.
NIU.
Okay.
Yeah, he grabbed his shirt from.
Yeah, I
from-
didn't know if honorary captain
He
what
grabbed
they
his
called
shirt
it.
from me at Pines, or his wife did
on the game day. Yeah, we showed
Yeah.
up early in the morning, got a shirt from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if they call it honorary captain what. So that was great, and you get some momentum, and you run into like Wisconsin or whatever. Like, how are you on game day? Are you very passionate? Like Quinn says, he can watch any other college football, NFL doesn't matter, but Iowa thing, he's throwing things, he's cussing, he's doing whatever else.
I basically have to isolate myself.
Okay.
And we got rid of cable at our house. We just have like a broken Fire Stick and whatnot now.
Yeah.
But when it's Iowa, I'm going to a bar, a restaurant, somewhere that has the game on, and I want everybody else to leave me alone. I'm going to sit by myself. I'm going to put my hood up, and I'm just going to sit there and order 2 or 3 beers and watch the game. Just kind of, internalizing everything that's happening, because I could absolutely be that guy. I've been there before, just losing my mind. I've scared my son because he was in the room and something happened, and I just lose my shit. I don't know if I can say that.
You can't.
Okay.
That's all right.
Lose my stuff. It's not a podcast anymore. I can't do that. But yeah. So for me, even now, I do kind of have to remove myself from the rest of society because. Yeah, I don't even watch the NFL anymore. It doesn't interest me at all. College football, I still get a lot of enjoyment out of, but the Hawks are something completely different.
Yeah.
And it's tough watching a lot of those, all those losses this year were close losses. Last minute, last drive, last play losses. And, I've been on a team that won every close game, and I've been on a team that lost every close game. And there's just something about learning as a team how to make the plays that need to be played or that need to be made to win the game in the last minute and 30 seconds. And, you hope that your team can get over that hump. We couldn't do it this year until Nebraska, but maybe that says good things for, coming into the bowl game.
Yeah, and as far
I was
as
at that game. That was great, beating Nebraska.
the other thing that's been
always
brought
nice.
up is going to the Outback Bowl, quite a bit. There isn't there wouldn't be any type of like pushback from the team just being like, we've been here or anything like that. Do you think?
No, it's a great time.
Okay.
It's always a great time. They treat you really well. And, you mentioned earlier, we had, frozen rain and sleet this morning. And it's, we had, 3 days of 50-degree weather, and then it drops down to like 12. That's just Iowa. They're down there in 80-degree weather having a great time. And the Bulls treat you really well. I also was kind of pulling for the Holiday Bowl just because I kind of like the change of scenery as a fan, right? Playing different opponents in different places. But the Hawks, we have that advantage of our fan base traveling really well wherever we go. And it's such a boon. I don't think people understand just how much the fan base plays into the bowl projections and where you get to go and how nice of a bowl you get to go. You can jump 2 teams with better records than you to play in a better bowl game because your fans travel well.
Yeah.
And so the fan base really does help the Hawkeyes in that regard. And I think if the fans want to go to Tampa, the fans are going to go to Tampa.
Yeah, and Kakert kind of called it. He said that I think they're going to pull Outback's going to pick Iowa.
The way the decision making is going, the Outback will take their chances next year on who they have to take.
Right.
So they took Iowa this year just because they're like they guaranteed they knew.
Well,
it was
Mississippi State isn't going to travel as well, so they know one school's
Right.
not going to travel. They're going to take the school that is going to.
Yeah.
So that's what he said. All right, let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Julian Vandervelde.
All right, with two great Davenport locations at 3333 North Harrison Street and 217 Brady Street, Van's Pizza Pub and Grill has the pizza pies to satisfy your hunger. So make sure you check them out every Sunday for the NFL ticket. You can get $8 12-inch pizzas, $6 bread nuggets. You can wash it all down with $3 16-ounce cans, $4 bombs, $5 domestic mini pitchers, $7 craft mini pitchers, $3 Bloody Marys, and $12 buckets of domestics. You can check out all their daily specials on Van's Pizza Pub and Grill Facebook, or you can follow them at Twitter at Van's Pizza 09. That's Van's Pizza Pub and Grill. Come get served.
This is Bobby Metcalf from the Quad City Times, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5.
Get more with McGrath.
Y-E-S. Say yes to year end savings at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport. Get more year-end savings now through New Year's Eve. Get more selection. You're ready for winter driving with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive vehicles. SUVs starting at $89.88. Get more year-end savings on Iowa's best used truck selection. Certified 4x4 pickups, F-150s, Rams, Sierras, Silverados from $10,988. Budget Boulevard vehicles start at $49.88. Say yes to year-end savings on North Brady Street in Davenport. Get more credit with McGrath. Nobody works harder to get you approved. Now through New Year's Eve, get more year-end savings with McGrath. The McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport. 4518 North Brady Street in beautiful Davenport. See all the specials. Log on McGrathAuto.com.
This Friday, the Storm are back at the Tax Slayer Center to square off against the Evansville Thunderbolts. Friday is Crazy Hat Night. Break out your wackiest headgear for a chance to win a Storm prize and chow down on $2 hot dogs. New Year's Eve Monday, the Storm face their arch rivals, the Peoria Rivermen. Monday's game is presented by Harris Pizza, and the first 1,000 fans get a team poster. Puck drop is at 4 o'clock, so get your party started with any two tickets for $19, $2 hot dogs, and $2 beers. Get your tickets at QuadCityStorm.com.
Take your winter vacation local by visiting the Carver Center at Augustana College. Saturday the 29th, it's your final chance of 2018 to cheer on both basketball squads. Monmouth College provides the next challenge for a women's team that's on the rise. Game time is 1 p.m. Meanwhile, the men's squad hits the court that night at 7 as they play host to Washington University of St. Louis. The new year brings North Central on January 2nd for a 7 o'clock battle with the men. For more information, visit augustana.edu. Augustana College, a family-friendly front row seat to big-time small college sports.
At Crawford Company, we specialize in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. Sports, on the other hand?
Hey, Crawford guy, go long!
No, I can't.
Here comes the pitch to Crawford guy. Strike three.
Come on, Crawford guy, take the shot!
Sports may not be our specialty, but home comfort is. Crawford Company, plumbing and drain cleaning, heating and air conditioning.
Now, back to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5.
Message and data rates may apply.
Help, seriously.
We are having a blast in the Hassle Palace. Brought to you by Dunright Satellite and Dish on this beautiful Friday after Christmas. It's the Hawkeye Friday. We got Jillian Vandervelde in studio.
We had to get that foul-mouthed Pat Anger out of here.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
Pat Anger,
S-bombs out there.
Mr. Tag Team Champion of the world. I can't believe him.
Do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
but good to have Julian here.
Yeah, good to have Julian back.
All right. So, Julian, we were talking a little bit earlier off the air, and you mentioned that you don't really watch the NFL. If it's on somewhere, you will, because, like you said, you took cable out of the house, so it's not really something. Do you, like, catch up on it, like, the next day, Monday morning quarterback or anything? Like, are you following right now, like, the playoff scenario?
The only thing that I know about the NFL, the things that I learn about it, come from Facebook at this point.
Okay.
Because I have basically 3 different factions of 4 different factions of fans in my entire friend group, and it's Bears fans and Packers fans.
Yeah, okay.
And then Eagles fans and Cowboys fans.
Gotcha.
So I always am aware when the Bears win or lose, the Packers win or lose, and when the Cowboys win or lose, and what the Eagles are doing. Because I'll keep up with like guys that I know.
Yeah.
So I keep up with what the Eagles are doing to a certain extent. And, like, I'll root for guys that I used to play with or that I know or, this, that, or the other thing. But I mean, the most vocal fans that I have on Facebook are the Cowboys. Every time they win a game, it's just Cowboys Super Bowl. This is it. Super Bowl year. Get the tattoos. Bust out the flags. It's over. It's already over. When they lose,
my Steeler fan friends are like that.
Silence.
I don't brag much. I'm happy when they win, but I don't. Any Cowboy fan out there telling you they're going to the Super Bowl this year.
I mean this in a good way. You're kind of smug about it.
Listen,
I don't mean that like as like a cocky smug, but like and we won today. We're looking pretty good.
Yeah, I'm happy.
That's good. That's a humble happy.
No.
That's all right.
No.
Smug. What do you got to pick? You have to pick one. Do you want the humble, or do you when he comes in and he's woo? How about them Cowboys?
I want the latter.
He's
of
riding
course,
he's riding the bull.
Yeah. That's
listen. They're in the playoffs, man, and it's gonna be a tough road to anywhere. I'm telling you, the Saints are the team. I predicted at the beginning of the year. I'm sticking with it. The Saints look tough.
The Eagles,
Bears look good. The Eagles are frightening right now, even though Dallas has beat them twice. I don't think I'm going to play them third time.
The Eagles need to win, and the Bears need to beat the Vikings for the Eagles to get in.
Doable.
Well, we do this every week. We do a pick 6. You're gonna, even though you don't watch it or whatever else, we need you to do it with us.
I'll do it like my mom does and pick by team colors.
Okay, well, great. we also do the lines.
Probably
too.
win too.
Yeah.
She does. She wins every week.
So we also do it by the lines as well.
Isn't that where that one cute guy plays? Oh, I love him.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes is her boy.
Oh, bet.
Oh,
is it really?
She didn't give a dang about the Chiefs until Patrick Mahomes
Has she
became
heard
the
him
quarterback.
speak?
No. She just loves the way that he looks and the way that he plays.
Oh, I bet his
play one interview of him speaking. And
I
see
bet
what she
his hands
says.
would be soft on your taint, Julian. Right. Okay, here we
Does
go.
he even go from under center? I don't even know. It's becoming a lost art.
Yeah, that's true. All right, the first game we're going to pull up is obviously Bears versus at the Vikings. The Vikings are favored by 4.5.
Why?
That seems weird.
Because
they're playing offensively better right now is why, and they're at home. But I think that's too many points to give up.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Bears all day with that. If the Vikings win, it's by a last-second field goal, and it's maybe at the most 3 points. That's all I'm saying. If they win, and obviously they're going to fight for everything.
I got a great question for you. So, how does Week 17 in the locker room? How does it work when you know either you're in or you're out, or when you're in the playoffs? Like,
great question.
How does it work when you know? Do they go ahead and say like, we're going to play the first series, we're going to play the half, or if you're scoreboard watching, we know we're going to pull back a little bit because not all 22 guys plus can sit.
Right.
Okay. So how does it work?
What I've seen is I've seen a couple different things. I've seen teams go all in. Right, where it's like, well, we're getting our guys ready for the playoffs, so we need them to play because we need them to be ready. I've seen them sit guys intentionally, because we know that we're in. We don't want to get these guys hurt, or these are big money, big contract guys, so we're not, going to play them in a meaningless game, something like that. And I've also seen vets who know that they're going to be in the playoffs or know that they're not going to be in the playoffs kind of pull themselves out. Not necessarily, tell the coach, like, hey, I'm not playing, but, all of a sudden that ankle injury starts to get a little bit worse, or that knee, they spend a little bit more time in the training room. Something about their demeanor just tells you that they're not really into it. So there's a mixed bag, I think.
So, like, questionable turns into doubtful.
Right.
Doubtful turns into out.
Right.
Okay. And, a lot of, like you said, you've seen every aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Easer A's on here on the Vans Pizza Pub and Grill Facebook comment line says the Bears have nothing to play for. That's not true.
Right. We
They
corrected them.
technically can still win
Yeah.
a bye if the Niners beat the Rams.
Right.
So, yeah, there's a lot of ifs, but, yes, they do have something to play for.
Well, and the Rams the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it if the Niners could pull it off.
The Niners gave the Bears a scare last week.
Yeah.
I mean, the Niners are no slouch right now. The way
George
they're
Kittle
playing.
out there
George
killing it.
Kittle, baby, yeah. Top-rated tight end in the league by
We've seen bigger upsets this year in the NFL, so that's why.
Absolutely.
It's a big if, right? Rams are
and
very,
trust me,
very
the
good
Vikings.
team.
The Vikings are fighting to make the playoffs. They know if they lose, they're out. They want to be in the playoffs. The Bears aren't going up to play a team that's not ready to play. And like you said, the Vikings are a good team.
Yeah,
they're not a bad team.
If you're looking at it, all right, now again, in your locker room coaching staff, more than likely, the Bears would rather play the Vikings than play the Eagles. Yes?
I think that's fair.
So losing to the Vikings, it gets they play the Vikings next week and in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm trying to look at here.
I don't.
I'd
really
rather
think-
I'd rather play the Vikings than the Eagles.
But
So
I
get-
don't think they would risk. I don't.
If
think
you're
they would do
watching
that.
the scoreboard,
I don't think that changes their play at all. Like what Julian said, this really stuck with me the last time when you were at Pines with us, when we were talking about point spreads and stuff like that. It's like, no, we have no idea. Like, we
really don't care.
We don't pay attention to that stuff. I don't really think they're gonna, lay off or ease up or anything at all based on a score. Oh, if we lose, we can play these guys who we'd rather play. I think they're playing to win no matter what.
Well, that being said, boys,
That's
what are
my- that's
what
my
are our
opinion.
picks here? Bears minus
Vikings. I'm giving up 4.5.
You're taking the Vikings, Jay?
Yes.
All right.
Minnesota is 6-0
Go on.
against the spread as a favorite between 3.5 and 9.5 points this season. And the Bears' offense in the second half is averaging just 7.8 second half points, and I think that's going to be all Chase Daniels' show in the second half.
Well, I'm taking the Bears, Serge. I know you're taking the Bears, Julian.
I'll take the Bears.
All right.
Well, then we got to jump over to
the Jaguars at the Texans.
Oh boy,
another battle. Somebody has a little bit to fight for here. The Texans, if they lose, become a wild card. If they win, they win their division. So they're not out of the playoffs, but they're either hosting or not hosting a playoff game.
That division championship means way more than you think. It's not just
Uh-huh.
about getting into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think
it's
it
how
means a
you
lot,
get
yeah.
in.
So, and the Texans are favored by 6.5 over the Jaguars.
It's a lot for this last week.
Who won this division last year, by the way?
Yeah, but we've seen what out of Jacksonville all year long.
I know. I'm just saying.
I'm
it's
going
funny.
Hu-
Funny
I'm
what a
going
year.
Houston, right?
Funny
Houston
what a
all
year
day.
does to you. Houston all day from Surge, Julian.
Houston.
Jabbird.
For sure.
I'm taking the points. I'm taking the 6.5. Reluctantly, but this is Blake Bortles.
You're taking the Jaguars?
Yeah, he is. He's auditioning for a job somewhere. He's not going to be in Jacksonville next year.
I'm taking the Texans too, man.
And Deshaun Watson, that offensive line, he's on pace to get sacked 60 times this year.
So far, both
outrageous.
So far, it's the three of us against you on both games.
Jacksonville's 5-1 against the spread in road games played against Houston since the start of the 2012 season. Jacksonville does not like Houston. They're going to play like
Houston
it matters.
doesn't like Jacksonville.
They're going to play like it matters.
I think a Texan could beat a Jaguar.
That's
Yeah,
an interesting.
man.
I don't know.
Is
Is
that
the Jaguar like
Yeah, I don't
out in the wild or in the city, right? Because if they're in the city, then the Jaguar has nowhere to hide. But if they're
Yeah.
out in the wild.
See, I'm
Well, it's in Houston, so we're gonna go in the city.
Okay, there you go.
All right, what else we got? here?
All right. The Colts at the Titans, man. This is dogfight. Titans, home dogs. Titans +3 at home.
This is.
I'll start with this one, boys. I love the way they're running the ball. I do love Andrew Luck, though, and I wish it would be different for my boy Mitch. But the Titans win this game and clinch their playoff berth. I like the Titans.
But in the Colts, yeah, I'm going to take the home dog. I'm going to take the Titans as well. This would be an incredible story for Andrew Luck, though, who's pretty much already locked up comeback player of the year.
I do want him to win it because I do like Andrew, but I just got to go with what I think. A home team with the playoffs on the line, and this team last 2 years made the
All right,
playoffs.
You talked me into it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, on the fence, and Indianapolis has been up, down, up, down.
Well, it's
up,
the
they've
Titans
looked
teams
really,
that beat the Chiefs the last 2 years
They've
in
looked
the playoffs.
really good, and they've looked really bad, but I think this is your home team's going to come out on top here.
Julian?
This is one where I'm going to have to go with the team that I know more people on, so I'm going to go with the Titans.
All right.
Like my brain is saying do the Colts, but my heart is
Hell yeah,
with
Jay.
the Titans, so I'm going with the Titans. Follow your heart.
All right, I love it. Next game. Hell yeah. We're all on board. All right. Next game on the docket, the Cleveland Browns at the Ravens. This is the Steelers game. I call this the Steelers game because the Steelers, they need the Browns. They need the Browns. They need the Browns. They need the Browns. And they need to win as well. But without the Browns' victory, the Steelers are out of the playoffs, and I get to make fun of Joey for the rest of the year.
More than normal?
Oh, yeah, way more than normal. So the Browns the Ravens are minus 5.5 at home.
Yeah.
You know what? I picked the Browns to possible 10 wins way, way early last year. Yeah, they win this one. What is that, 8? 8-6-1?
So that's 10 wins over 2 years?
Kinda.
What are you talking yourself into there?
I'm just talking myself into the Browns. I'm taking the Browns, baby. Plus the points.
The only games that Baker Mayfield has not been at his best are against very good defenses, and the Ravens have a good defense. 5.5. Yeah, I'm gonna give up the 5.5. I'm gonna take Baltimore.
All right, Serge.
I'm gonna go Cleveland here. I've bet against them most of the year, and they keep surprising me. So
I just don't like the Ravens. I don't know. I don't like the Ravens.
I don't have anything against the Ravens.
Julian, I don't know.
The Browns on the road are giving up 4.3 yards per carry on in rushing, and the Ravens are not going to stop running. So
yeah, I got to do the Ravens for this one.
All right. What was I going to say?
You were going to go on the next game?
I was going to say something about the Browns.
You just want them to win.
Anyway, I'll come back to it.
Okay.
All right, 49ers at the Rams. Rams minus 10.
Let's go Niners. Let's go Niners.
So, Serge, you want the Niners?
I haven't said that yet.
All right. Well, I'll start with Julian this time. Then, Julian, what do you think? Can the Niners do it?
I think the Niners can do it. I'm gonna call the upset here and go with the Niners.
Jay Bird?
No, and I'm going to actually give up the 10.
All right.
The Rams they're gonna be in full playoff mode. They want to get the 2 seed. They're gonna put the pedal to the metal here. Finally.
Right. Sergey?
Well, it's Gurley. Gurley's the question though.
Right.
He's not playing. C.J. Anderson had a great game. He's not playing.
See, I'm going Niners plus 10.
Right.
But I don't know if they can.
I'm going Niners plus 10. I hope they win. It'd be kind of fun to see.
Right.
This week 17 is just incredible, especially with all but 3 games being kickoffs at 3:25. It's just going to make a great afternoon on Sunday.
Yeah.
Gurley's still listed as questionable, but
there's no reason. There's no reason to play.
Yeah, they're in.
All right. Julian's Eagles at the hated Redskins. Redskins, a home dog, plus 6.5.
I believe it.
Can Saint Nick, old Saint Nick, pull off some more holiday miracles, Julian?
I believe in Saint Nick fully. I think
All right.
I think the Eagles, especially because the Eagles know what they're playing for the opportunity. They've still got a shot at an outside shot, but it's still a shot at the playoffs.
Yeah, so they need the Bears to beat the Vikings for them to make it.
Right. So I'm calling the Bears beating the Vikings, the Eagles beating the Redskins, and the Eagles getting into the playoffs.
All right. Julian's on the Vikings. Jay Bird?
I'm 100% on the Eagles. I don't even know is your San Diego Fleet quarterback Josh Johnson quarterback in the Redskins again?
Yes, he is.
All right.
Actually, I think he got hurt. I think someone else is.
All right. Well, I'm taking the Eagles, and can't get the number. You could probably put a 1 in front of that 16
all day.
in front of that.
I'm
make it
sorry.
Not to say that because Julian's here.
I'm taking the Redskins just for Easer A's.
Very nice of you.
Listen, as a fan, I hate either one of these damn teams. I could give.
That's true. That's hard.
I could give a fart less who wins this game, other than the fact I don't know. I just.
It's like if
I don't want the Eagles. I don't want the Eagles making the playoffs.
right.
Even if they make it, I don't have to play them first round.
Washington's
It doesn't matter.
Washington's
they're
injured.
too beat up.
Yep.
But I think the Eagles win this game, but I think Washington covers the spread. Their defense has been playing very well. So that being said, maybe they slow down St. Nick, but we'll see.
Before we take a quick break and call Kakert down in Tampa, what do you think about the AAF, the Alliance of American Football?
Which one is that one?
That's the one that's launching a week after the Super Bowl. That's the one that CBS is backing.
Okay.
Charlie Ebersol.
I think that any more football is good.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that quite frankly, we talked a little bit earlier about NFL rules changing, right, and the game kind of becoming softer and blah blah blah. I think that any competition to the NFL is a good thing. I love the XFL. Anything that can come in and say we're going to do things a little bit differently and see how it impacts the market as far as football, because football is that level of football is such a business. And the NFL, at this point, all they're doing is trying to protect big money players, trying to protect offensive stars so that teams score more points. That's the way that the game is trending, and some of that is changes in scheme and in the offense and in the evolution of the game. But I was always of the understanding that if we're going to be paid the type of money that NFL players are paid, even the minimum guys, not so much practice squad guys, but like the NFL minimum is still pretty ludicrous. If you're going to be paid like that, there are certain risks that you take. And part of the game is the violence of the game. So when you start taking the violence and the risk out of football, it's a very exclusive thing where it's high money quarterbacks and wide receivers and offensive stars and things. I have a big problem with the game at that point, at that level. So anything that's going to come along to create some sort of competition for that and give us something else to watch and model after, I think is a good thing.
I mean, Julian, I'm feeling where you're coming from, because no matter what, and what I've learned as I've watched all this, as we're making picks, as we're making predictions week to week, and you can probably agree with this more than anybody, it doesn't matter necessarily if Todd Gurley's hurt so much as if how many guys are missing from your O-line or how many are missing from your opponent's D-line. I mean, because what you guys are doing there, it absolutely makes the difference on whether that running back can hit a hole or not, whether that quarterback has time to do anything. I mean, that's it. The game is, and I know it's a cliche, but the game's won or lost right there. And if you're a betting person that watches it, yeah, a lot of times it's the stars that get they're out. It's not that. It's like who's not playing defensively? Who's not playing on the O-line? What all-star, tackle or guard or center is hurt this week? That I think to me makes more of a difference than anything.
It's very, very hard to win without strength in the trenches.
Right.
And without having a healthy, cohesive offensive or defensive line, defensive front seven, really, or an offensive line.
I definitely say defensive front seven because you have to include those linebackers.
The linebackers are massive.
They're huge for the run stop.
Yeah,
huge.
Yeah, if you're good on either side of the line there, you can win a lot of games with a trash quarterback and marginal running. If you are absolutely dominant up front. And a lot of there have been rules changes, hands to the face and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've seen, all pro guys who false start, but the refs know that they always get off right on the snap, so they'll give it to them, stuff like that. There's little things like that, but it's the subjective rule changes like this is a rookie quarterback, so he can get body slammed and choked out by Ndamukong Suh. This guy makes $100 million, so you can't even breathe on him without getting a roughing the passer penalty. Those sorts of rules, I think, are just ruining the game of football at that level. It's one of the reasons that I don't watch it anymore.
Well, I mean, the thing that I was commenting on, in the last 3 weeks at least, is the absolute inconsistency of where it started the season on quarterbacks getting hit late, quarterbacks getting roughing the passer calls. I want to say it was Dallas against the Eagles. They called a roughing the passer on, I think it was Randy Gregory, because he came in and he tackled the quarterback by the ankles from behind. And I was like,
you can't hit him in the legs.
In that
you
game
can't put
alone,
your body weight onto him. And my thought process is, if you don't have an offensive line good enough to keep your quarterback clean, he deserves to get hit. Pay for a better offensive line if that's the case.
And if you had watched that game, both sides of the ball, they called penalties against Dallas that were terrible. They called them against the Eagles that were just as terrible. I mean, it was probably the worst officiated game I think I've watched all year. And
They've been bad.
Just bad. And I'm like, and it's like what happened? Did they make the officials so nervous about making calls that they're second guessing what they're supposed to be doing? That's what it felt like.
I think some of that is rule changes from year to year. We would always have, every team has the officials come in at the beginning of the year and alert the whole team. These are the rule changes, and then they show you a video.
Right.
With this is from last year, like this would be a clean play, this would be a penalty this year. This would be a clean play, this would be a penalty this year. So you can compare them. Sometimes they both look the exact same to us as players. The officials are the ones who have to make that distinction. So I think especially early in the year when you do have something that changes a rule and something very specific like sacking the quarterback. If you put your body weight onto him now, it's roughing the passer, which is outrageously bad for the game. But not the point. The point is that's a tough call sometimes to make for them. And in the beginning of the season, they're probably a little gun-shy about that sort of thing. So they're throwing more flags because they want to make sure that they're not missing the calls more so than they want to make sure that they're getting it right.
I completely agree. The first couple of weeks were just
absolutely
horrendous.
Clay Matthews got called like a
3
couple times, and it was just ridiculous. And I mean, those are just ones that pop in my head. Those are games I remember watching. But I mean, I know it happened in more games than that. And you're just like, all right. And you're absolutely right. I mean, things like that are when they're trying to protect the high-end players more than anything. It's ruining the game.
All right, we got to take a quick break and call Kakert. You got something for us? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I do. Pints is Davenport's premier spot for craft draft beer and superb cocktails. Located at 5268 Utica Ridge Road on the border of Davenport and Bettendorf, it's the perfect location for people out on the town. Grab some drinks before the movies or after dinner on a date night, or just stop by any day of the week and enjoy our happy hour or any of our 7 daily specials. And don't forget, Sunday, Pints is proud to bring you the best Sunday fun day there is, there was, and ever will be, with $3 you-call-its and complimentary food from our friends at Van's Pizza Pub and Grill. And don't forget, starting on January 6th, Gong Show Karaoke at Pints with our friend Scott Stowe. That's right, you can win $50 worth of house cash. We're going to have an 8-week contest and bring back all their winners. And they're going to compete for a large cash prize to be announced later.
You should come do that, Julian.
Yeah, Julian.
I was unaware that that's a thing that's happening.
Gong Show Karaoke, everybody.
Yeah, I'm in.
8 p.m. starting January 6th at Pints, 5268 Utica Ridge Road in Davenport.
This is Tom Kakert from HawkeyeReport.com, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5.
I'm too young for hair loss.
My hairline keeps creeping back. Receding?
I've got this bald spot.
It's thinning everywhere.
I'm gonna have to give up and shave it.
Dude, put down the razor, because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, is about to give you your real hair back permanently. Don't ignore the signs of hair loss. Bosley is giving away an absolutely free information kit that reveals all the signs, and a free gift card to anyone who texts TAP to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Using the latest technology, Bosley's solution to hair loss is permanent and protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Plus, since Bosley has new non-surgical options, you owe it to yourself to text now for an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off, no matter what level of hair loss you have. Text TAP to 85850. That's TAP to 85850.
When storm damage hits, All Major Restoration is your insurance claim specialist. Loose or missing shingles, dented siding, or damaged windows, All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities works with your insurance company to make the process quick and easy. The insurance company have people fighting for them. Let All Major Restorations work for you. When storm damage hits, think All Major Restorations. Residential, commercial, and industrial. Storm damage estimates are always free. All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities. 563-322-0060. Looking for a new or used bow? R&R Sports in Bettendorf has the most bows and crossbows in the Quad Cities. They've got the new 2019 bows from Matthews, Hoyt, Bowtech, and PSE. And for crossbows, Raven, Parker, and PSE. Now you can try it out on their indoor archery range before you even buy it. R&R offers junior archery supplies and muzzle loading too. They've got guns from Benelli, Stoger, Franchi, Springfield, Ruger, and Remington. Plus, you can see R&R Sports in Bettendorf for deer processing. Visit them online at rnrsportsinc.com.
ESPN 93.5 is KJOC Bettendorf Quad Cities from the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studio.
Welcome back to the Hassle Palace, brought to you by Dunright Satellite and Dish. This is Don't Hassle Us Local here on ESPN 93.5. And on the phone lines, I do believe we have Mr. Tom Caker. Tom, are you there, sir?
No, we're calling him right now.
Oh,
you know how it works. He's going to answer, though. I promise he'll answer.
He's totally Metcalfing you.
Even though I told
He's
him
going to call you short.
Yo.
Tom.
There he is.
You're live, man. What's up, buddy?
Oh, hi, guys.
We got Julian Vandervelde in the studio as well, bud.
He's the man.
What's up, homie?
How are you?
Doing well, yourself?
So, Rosso was on earlier. He says he's wearing shorts and enjoying the weather. How about yourself?
Shorts, short sleeve shirt. I was going to go shirtless, but I didn't want to scare people.
We'll just save that till you get to the gentleman's club. I hear you get extra. You get extra if you take your shirt off with them.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, if you look out my window, I can see the dollhouse from my hotel room.
I knew I should have traveled with you, Tom.
And a Shell station with the subway.
See, you got that going.
You got
for
it all,
which is nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place down here. It's been great. It's 80 degrees and sunny and really great weather.
Hey,
so.
Tom, I saw on Facebook you posted that you were at the Krispy Kreme donut shop.
Yeah, we had a break. We got into practice today for a little bit, and of course, I spy food places on my journey. Julian has trained me well on these journeys, so yeah, I saw the Krispy Kreme yesterday.
Yeah, well,
we had a little break.
You got to be careful before one of those super cool Facebook pages bring Krispy Kreme to the Quad City pages pop up. Even though we had one, we forget about it.
We don't need it. We have.
It'll happen.
We have Hertz now. We don't need
Hertz.
Krispy Kreme.
We have donut. The donut. We have another donut.
I'm just
place.
saying those super cool pages that have absolutely nothing on any type of business coming in here. But we'll just make a page anyway. Anyway, I'm just saying someone's going to take your idea.
Yeah, Donuts and More. That's it.
Donuts and More is the best donuts in the Quad Cities.
Donuts and More.
We don't need anything else.
Donuts and More is really solid.
Yeah. So what's your agenda like so far? We talked to Adam. He's running all over. He just got in yesterday. When did you get in?
I got in on the 26th, so we had some bowl stuff yesterday, post-practice. Got to talk to Kirk and to Brian and some of the offensive guys. And then today we got into practice and got we have a really good photo gallery up. I'm putting some video, just a few-minute clips of practice so people can get a look at guys and then talk to Phil Parker and LeVar Woods and some of the defensive players. And tonight it's bowling night in America. They have a bowling event at Splitsville.
Yeah, that's where you're going to see Rosso there, buddy.
A lot of that stuff.
Yeah. So and apparently they used to have a competition, and it was pretty fun between the Big Ten team and the SEC team. And leave it to Jim Harbaugh in Michigan to ruin it last year.
Always.
They apparently got into a little bit of a skirmish with the South Carolina guys last year, and so they have done away with the team competition portion of bowling. But it'll still be bowling.
You know what? I heard between him and Urban Meyer, they canceled Christmas in Michigan and Ohio just because of those two.
They ruin everything.
Yeah, those two could ruin. Those two could ruin a wet dream.
They screw with everything. So yeah, what are we doing tomorrow? Tomorrow we've got the coach's press conference, and we'll be over to Busch Gardens, which I know Julian loves.
Big time. Love it.
He was talking about that earlier, so that was it's good you bring that up.
Yeah, those flamingos.
That's right. You know the story.
Julian's the flamingo kid.
The snake. You and Big Diesel with the Diesel Mike with the snake.
Yeah, with the python.
That's one Big Mike.
Tom, we got a question for you on the Vans Pizza Pub and Grill Facebook comment line. Why is Tristan Wirfs practicing with the twos?
I don't know. It's a good question. Because nothing was mentioned yesterday. Tristan was available to us yesterday to talk, and obviously we didn't know that he was practicing with the twos, so just things seemed normal, and if there was something going on, he wouldn't have been available to us. So
tomorrow when we get Kirk for his final coaches press conference with Coach Moorhead from Mississippi State, will be one of the questions that we're going to ask him is why was it Levi at right tackle and not Tristan Wirfs? Tristan was with the twos, so as was Mark Kallenberger at left tackle with the twos, Bettendorf kid.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty good.
Right on. What do you? I gotta ask. What's your predictions for the game?
I haven't even done that yet. I think I'm going to pick Iowa because otherwise Julian would kick my butt. So
smart.
We're waiting for you at the airport. Yeah.
I'm gonna pick the Hawks. But it's going to be my gambling recommendation for this game.
Love it.
The over/under is 44, and I would be pounding the under. I just don't see this game being high scoring. Although I didn't think Auburn would have 42 points with 8 minutes left in the second quarter of the game today either. So take my gambling advice what you will. Although it was on fire yesterday. People are making money off me.
Oh, really? Just hanging out in the media room, just giving out free gambling advice, huh?
Well, he's winning. Yeah, he's saving all those monies to go to the dollhouse, man. He's always what he's up to.
We're going to the track on Sunday. The ponies are running here, so we got a dead day.
What did you find for good eats down there for T-Roy, man? I mean, other than crappy donut places. Talk to me, Goose.
I went to there's a really good pizza place that's right by the Media Hotel called Grimaldi's, and went there last night and had a wonderful calzone that was terrific, and they had really good IPA there that sampled a few of those, and what else and there's a Waffle House right down the street. So
there's your breakfast right there, all tied into one.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to see at this Waffle House. I've been there many times, and there have been, people who I believe might have been under the influence of perhaps some narcotics of some sort that have been in there late at night. So, yeah, it's a little scary, but so far,
well, be careful. Be careful. Hey, now make sure you hit up some seafood when you're down there, man. They got some of the best seafood there in the Tampa area.
There's a place that's literally a couple blocks away called Charlie's that's really good for seafood. So, we'll be venturing out more.
Get you smoked tuna dip.
And tomorrow when we go to Busch Gardens, we'll make the stop at the Taco Bus, which is one of my favorite places, which is an old school bus that they've made into a taco stand, basically.
Can you send a picture of that on Twitter so I can see what it looks like?
I'll send it.
All right.
I'm going to definitely send a photo out tomorrow when we stop there after Busch Gardens.
My stomach is so envious of you right now. You don't even know.
Tom, when do you come back?
Carne asada too. They have your favorite.
Tom, when do you come back?
Not soon enough to be able to transport that food to T-Roy.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, bless your heart though.
We'll be back on the 2nd. So we'll be ready. So
all right, well, let's see if we can get you in on the 3rd if you're available, so we can do a recap.
Yes, we will do that. That'd be great. I'll plan on the 3rd.
Okay, awesome. We gotta let you go because we're gonna run out of time here. But thank you so much for your time, and hey, have fun down there. Look forward to reading everything you write on HawkeyeReport.com.
Go Hawks, Tommy.
Go Hawks. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.
I love Kakert, man. He knows the food, dude.
Yeah, but this is a business day for Julian. Julian, talk to me about Moxie Solar.
Well, right now I think we're the only solar company with an office in the Quad Cities. We are all across eastern Iowa and northern Illinois. Basically, our goal is to take all that money that people keep sending to Warren Buffett every month with their electricity bill and put it back into their pockets.
He's not spending on his house.
Yeah, we moved out of a housing association because they wouldn't let us put solar on the roof. So my house right now has prairie grass where I want to put it. So I'm going to burn down my prairie grass next year to put solar up. That's real environmentally friendly of me.
Yeah, there you go. You're such a hippie.
Such a hippie. No, but we, I mean, our whole thing is turnkey, headache-free service. We do all the paperwork for you. Free analyses for any buildings. We do commercial buildings, residentials, farms. We got a couple of big, manufacturing scale projects going right now.
You do this entire building?
I think we're at 2/3 of this building's consumption. Next year, we're putting up enough to
nice.
close it off completely. So this building will be we'll have 100% of their power generated from solar fairly soon. But that's kind of our whole thing is just making it as easy as possible for you to get from that monthly energy bill that never goes away to not having to worry about it anymore. Putting that money back in your pocket, spending it on what you want to spend it on.
That's right.
All right. Well, thanks, Julian.
Hey, Julian, it's been a pleasure have you on. We got to have you back on real soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
We could could go for another 2 hours talking with you, but we only get 2 hours every
that's all we
day.
get.
So here's the deal. We're off till Thursday, January 3rd. So basically, we will see you next year, everybody. We appreciate everything. Thanks to Quinn for calling in, Rosso, Kakert, and thanks to Julian for coming in, too, taking some time out of his day today. We'll see you later. See you next year.
All right. Love you, Quad Cities.
Happy birthday, Adrian.
Be
Krista,
safe.
Sean. Love you guys.